The Factories Act 1948 is a comprehensive legislation that covers the safety, health, and welfare of workers employed in factories. Do you know when it came into force? Yes, it came into force with effect from 1st April 1949. What is the main objective of the Factories Act 1948? The main objective is to control working conditions in factories so that the health, safety, and welfare of workers are taken care of as per Article 39(c) and 42 of our Constitution. I see. What led to the introduction of the Factories Act 1948? The history of the Factories Act 1948 is more than 100 years old. As the process of modern industrialization came to India, it brought factories evils such as employment of women and children at a tender age, excessive hours of work, unsafe conditions in hazardous areas, and unhygienic working conditions. This led to large number of major accidents, disabling injury to workers and even death. That's terrible. What happened next? Philanthropists like Sorabji Shahpurji Bengali and Sasipat Banerjee led movements for better working conditions in factories. With continuing agitation by the workers and social pressure, the appointment of Factories Commission in 1875 and finally in the year 1881, the first Factories Act came into force. Further revision of Factories Act came in the year 1911, 1922, 1934, and 1948. Interesting. Can you tell me about the key provisions of the Factories Act 1948? The Factories Act 1948 has 11 chapters, 120 sections, and 3 schedules. The 11 chapters cover preliminary, the inspecting staff, health, safety, provisions relating to hazardous processes, welfare, working hours of adults, employment of young persons, annual leave with wages, special provisions, penalties and procedure, and supplemental. The 3 schedules cover the list of industries involving hazardous processes, permissible levels of certain chemical substances in work environment, and list of notifiable diseases. Wow, that's a lot of provisions. What are the industries involving hazardous processes? The first schedule of the Factories Act 1948 lists industries involving hazardous processes such as petroleum refining, asbestos, and lead. And what about the permissible levels of certain chemical substances in the work environment? The second schedule of the Factories Act 1948 lists permissible levels of certain chemical substances in the work environment such as benzene, carbon monoxide, and lead. I see. And what are the notifiable diseases? The third schedule of the Factories Act 1948 lists notifiable diseases such as anthrax, lead poisoning, and silicosis. Thanks for explaining all the provisions of the Factories Act 1948. It's clear that this act is crucial in ensuring the safety, health, and welfare of workers employed in factories. Yes, it's important to follow the provisions of the Act to prevent accidents and ensure a safe working environment for all.